How's it going, friends and family? Back at home. Hope you guys are doing wonderful. This is my video update. It is Wednesday, October 12th. The days are kind of blending together, and even though every morning I write the date in my journal, I still can't remember it by the afternoon or evening. But yeah, things are going good. It's currently just pouring rain outside, and I'm sort of avoiding going to dinner, even though I'm starving. But I don't have an umbrella, so I need to get one of those. Mental note. But anyways, yeah. So everything's been going good. We actually just finished Genesis, which is crazy to believe. It's been a little over a week and a half now since I've been in Kona, and it's just been really cool to see how the Lord is working in my life. It feels like I've been here for honestly like a month. But it's really only been just a little under 2 weeks, which is insane. But yeah, so we just finished Genesis. We finished the lectures yesterday, and tonight, in 30 minutes, we have to turn in all of our charts that we're doing for Genesis. We had to go through each chapter of Genesis, and we had to do observations, interpretations, and applications. And we've got this whole chart layout that we do for that, which is pretty intense. And it sounds like a lot of work. It is. But it's gonna get crazier, as my roommate's laughing as I just said that. So yeah, it's really cool, and I thought it'd be sweet to kind of share with you guys just like a little bit, what the Lord has been speaking to me through each book that we're gonna be going through. And for Genesis in particular, we spent a lot of time in Genesis in lectures just talking about the faith of Abraham, and just literally it blows my mind. Just how much he trusts God. The Lord would come to him with these promises, time after time. And every single time, he was obedient. It says he was obedient, and he trusted the Lord, and he would follow him, and he would do what the Lord commanded him to do. And the Lord counts that as righteousness. That is true faith, is when the Lord speaks to you, places words in front of us. And then when we actually, will follow them and be obedient to his calling on us, that is true faith. And it's just so, just stuck out to me, especially in my life, with just some of the stuff the Lord has been calling me to do and telling me to do, and just as a daily, just, trust with him. It's just been really growing. It's been incredible, and such a good experience. And there's one verse in particular that really stuck out to me. And at the end of each book, we have to do an overall application of, okay, now that we've studied this, what does this mean to you? What is it? How can you apply this to your life? And for me, one of the biggest things was in Genesis 18, verse 14. And it says, "Is anything too wonderful for the Lord?" As in, is anything too difficult, too hard? Because this was at a time when the Lord had come to Sarah and Abraham, and they had said, from a year from now, we're going to come back. I'll come back to you, and you will have a son. And Sarah laughed almost at the Lord, in the sense, partially I'm sure she was scared out of her mind that God was speaking to her, but also because, she was way past her years to be able to bear a child, and the Lord spoke to her and said, "I'm going to come back this time next year, and you're going to have a kid." And the Lord said, "Is anything too wonderful for the Lord? Is anything too difficult for him?" And that's just was such a challenge to me of just, we know that nothing is impossible for God, but do we really believe it? Do we really live our lives that way? Do we really answer the calls that he says to us, knowing that nothing is too great for him, that nothing is too hard for him to do in our lives? And then also just with the story of Abraham and Isaac, when you really look into that, like we've grown up in church with that story, but when you really look into that, Abraham was crazy. He was straight up insane. The fact that God told him, okay, I've given you this covenant and this promise of a child, and then through that child, I will fulfill my covenant with him that I've promised to you, that many nations will come from him, will come from you, and then from him. And the fact that God said, okay, now I've given you this child, go sacrifice him and go kill him. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, I just can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for Abraham. But also, it says that, Abraham, when he took his two servants and his son Isaac, and that when they went up to the mountain, Abraham had said, okay, you servants, you wait here. Me and the boy are going to go up and worship the Lord, and then we'll be back. And so just the fact that you know that Abraham has somehow got to believe that God is going to resurrect Isaac, regardless of killing him or not, or he's going to spare him from killing him, because the Lord had promised that he was going to fulfill his covenant through him. And it's just like, oh my gosh, like God will give us promises. He will lay things before us. And sometimes God says, okay, now kill it, sacrifice it, knowing that I will resurrect it when it's my timing. Because God's timing is so not of our timing. And we just have to trust, knowing that God has got a bigger plan and that he wants to be faithful, or he will be faithful, but he wants us to trust knowing that he's going to be faithful, that he will deliver his promises to us. And it was just such a challenge to me of just, wow, am I willing to sacrifice the promises that God has given me? Am I willing to let them die, to place them on the altar completely, knowing that God is going to be faithful? And so I challenge you guys, in your life, those of you who are following this blog, to look in and ask the Lord, okay, God, what do you want me to sacrifice? What do you want me to put up on the altar and let die, trusting that you're going to resurrect it because you are faithful? So, again, just thanks everyone for all of your support. And it's been such a blessing just knowing that there are people out there who are praying for me and who are, on this journey with me. And so that was just one revelation that God was just kind of speaking to me about. So, well, this is now almost a 7-minute video, and I'm sure you guys are done listening. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I think the rain is slowing down. But anyways, thanks everyone, and just bless all of you guys for your support. And I just pray that the Lord would just pour out his presence into your life, and that you would just experience a new joy and a new way of living in trust and faith, just like Abraham did. So, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon.